Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Artichokes. This is episode 3, and happy holidays. I'm Lumi, joined by my very magnanimous friends, Eosin Sheila.
What a title. Hi, I'm Sheila, aka Insert Fail.
Yep. Eosin here. You know me. No need for introductions.
You know me.
Oh my god.
How's holidays going for you guys?
Work has been busy, but finally free for a little bit. Hooray!
Yeah, I've been taking care of my friend. It's also PoE season. You know, it's best time of the year.
I know that a lot of Western listeners are celebrating more like Westernized holidays, like Christmas and whatnot. But this is also the time of the year that's like the first day of winter solstice, or whatever it's called. And traditionally, supposed to make dumplings. So I actually had a good time making dumpling all afternoon for my family.
Oh,
And
dude,
then we
that
ate
sounds
dumpling.
awesome.
And we got some hipster dumpling this time. We made kimchi dumpling. I've never had it before. I'm going to say that it's not as good as normal dumpling, but once in a while, it's a nice little bit different.
Kimchi dumplings. I don't think I've had this either. You?
No. I mean, okay, it can't just be kimchi, right? What else was in there? Like what kind of meat was
Kimchi
in
and pork. Kimchi and pork.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Apparently, you could order it in Ding Dai Fung. That's
Oh.
where my sister got the idea from and requested it that we make it that way this time.
I see.
Very cool.
Anyways, we got Artichoke episode number 3 coming your way, and today we're going to talk about patch 1.2. I feel like every week we're just going to talk about a patch.
If they keep releasing them at this rate, yeah. But there should be a break for the holidays, they said. So we're not going to be back until next year.
And the patch 1.2 also included some gameplay changes. So before we get into that, let's talk about the non-gameplay stuff, which is independent ratings is added to the game now. So you have a rating for your draft and you have your rating for constructed, and they go from 1 to 75. And the more you win, the higher your rating is.
Yeah.
And this is a seasonal rating, so it'll reset after a couple of weeks, or a couple of months rather, sorry. We also have a count level that you could level up from 1 to 200.
Yeah, it operates similarly to Dota. The highest rank you get it will be the one that always displays on your profile too. So even if you end up tanking a little bit, they'll still see if you've got that nice 60 badge.
So I haven't had the opportunity to play the new patch yet, but do you start at 1 and you just grind your way up? So it's not like a placement type of thing, or
No, they don't do placements.
Okay.
I've heard some people say though, like their initial leveling up from level 1 to 2 has varied dramatically from person to person.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, everyone starts at the same place, right? So you can run into a really good player right at the beginning.
Some people say that it's taken them like 10 games to get to level 2, but they're really good players, so they're very high placed already. And then afterwards,
is that how it works? It takes your innate MMR?
It must have something to do with some kind of like hidden MMR.
I mean, there was a point in time where there was a hidden MMR, and they took it away. Remember that? So something is being tracked. We just don't really know what.
I'm sure there's still some kind of hidden MMR.
Yeah, they never took it away.
Yeah, they just took away your ability to see it.
Yes, they took away your ability to see it, yes.
Yeah. So my personal experience was that it took me 5 games to rank up from 1 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I just like ranked up maybe once every 2-3 wins. I've heard that you have to beat somebody better than you to rank up. I'm not sure. So if I'm ranked 10 and I beat a rank 11 player, I automatically rank up, I think.
I mean, I want to say yes, but at the same time, if the badge that you see is just supposed to be the highest a person's ever achieved, if they've actually, tanked, say, 10 ranks just from constantly losing or something, and you beat them as like a level, 61, like you beat them as level 59, does that mean you still get the rank up even though they're technically lower than you, or what?
Well, actually, you don't ever see their rank badge. That's the one thing. So there's 2 different things that are being tracked. So you get a rank badge and your seasonal ranks. So your seasonal ranks is what shows to people.
Yeah.
So when people are playing versus me, they see White Dragon level 6. That's what they see because my account was level 6. But then depending on whether I'm playing constructed or draft, then it's just a different ranking based on that. And they don't show that ranking. I actually think it's more useful to show that particular ranking than my account, which is level 6. Because I could have gotten level 6 by grinding nothing but constructed, or I could have grinded that ranking by going nothing but draft.
Yeah, I don't think the account level means much of anything.
I mean, they're trying to get people to not focus on it, right? You're just trying to focus on yourself more than what other people are, that kind of thing. Because like at the end of the day, you're just playing a game, right? You shouldn't really care too much about what your opponents are like. You just got to win, right? That's actually all it is.
I mean, people do care though.
Yeah, they do, but I mean, the idea is they're trying to get you to care less. That's why.
Well, when we were discussing it earlier, we also talked about how this was a means to prevent ladder anxiety amongst players as well.
Yes, a lot of people do have ladder anxiety. You know, they get nervous about all sorts of these little things.
Deranking,
like deranking, or they see someone that's really highly ranked and they get nervous. They play differently, that kind of stuff. You know, they just want you to not care about that as much as possible.
Do you know what my ladder anxiety is? It's like I'm sitting at 3 wins and 1 loss, and I'm just like, oh no, am I gonna lose here? Am I not gonna go perfect? That's my ladder anxiety.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's been so hard to actually get perfect nowadays. Players are just so good now, from my experience at least.
Good, everyone's catching on. Everybody's playing more.
No more free wins, dude.
This is my strategy, right? I haven't been able to play. Once I come back, everyone is super high level, right? And then I'm just like starting at level 1, and I'm gonna run into all the low level players. This is the perfect plan.
Okay, so let me be very clear, because there's 2 different ranking we're talking about.
Yeah.
And one is your actual MMR, and one's your account ranking, which is essentially just how much you play, right? So now I'm talking about your account ranking, which is the more you play, the higher level you are. And people are talking about that. It goes from level 1 to 200.
I don't think you should call it a ranking. It's really just a leveling system.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
that's a very confusing term.
We'll call it your account level.
Yeah.
Your account level. Okay, so it goes from level 1 to level 200. So from level 2, you get like 1 pack, 1 ticket. Level 4, you get another pack, another ticket. Level 6, you get 2 pack, 2 tickets, and so on and so forth. And you get these kind of reward all the way to 16. And then from 16 to 200, you don't get these rewards anymore, but over certain landmarks, you get like icons. So you could be a I don't know, you could be a Legion Commander at level 130.
Yeah, I'm looking at the reward list. It is a little strange.
Yeah, they made it very like bottom heavy. Like it's very, very rewarding to get through those first 16 levels, because you get a total of 15 cards and I think 15 tickets, right? Yeah, 15 packs and 15 tickets,
Full free.
Which is full free just by playing the game. But then after that, it's like, I mean, you're going to play anyway, right? So just by nature of that, you're going to level up your account. There's not really much reward for it, except for some nice little badges, I suppose.
This reminds me of something that Eternal Card Game did, which is they also did a very similar system. I also want to say they did like 1 to 80 or something, and it was so hard to level. Like leveling from one level to the next took forever. But they explicitly said that this is meant to be a very long-term goal, like a goal over 2 years. So don't feel like you need to climb to 200 in a night, right? And I almost feel like Valve should have said that as well, because without saying that and without noticing that, if you're purely trying to level up your account, it's gonna feel super, super slow. Since the patch, I think I played about 20, 30 hours, and I'm sitting at level 6.
Yeah.
And this is with a ton of wins. When you win, you get more experience. So I feel like if you don't have that expectation to the players, they might just feel like
not a very good system kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you said that the account leveling is going to reset, correct?
No, your season levels is going to reset. Your season rank, your account level I think stays forever.
Okay. No, that was what was confusing earlier with the statements.
Okay, I probably typed it all wrong.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't remembering it correctly. I mean, that's true. I don't know. I feel like this is something that people are going to just not pay attention to after a while. It's going to be like in Dota, which has a very, very similar system where you can also level up an account by playing games, and you get like different icons for the levels that you have. And it used to be in the past that I think for each level you got, you would get like a special drop after the end of your game.
Right.
But I
get
don't
an item, I think.
Yeah, you would just get like an item or a set or something.
There was
you
a
know,
box you could
completely
open
random.
too.
That was way long ago though.
Yeah.
They didn't do that anymore. But nowadays I don't think it does anything. It's just literally a level showing how much you've played Dota. And I feel like that's kind of what this is approaching.
Well, I mean, the big difference is that this gives you packs and tickets, so people would care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only for the first 16 levels.
Yes. Once you hit 16, then it kind of like loses its.
Yeah, my point is that people are gonna like not care about it after that point.
Yeah.
So
Or
I
maybe,
don't.
or maybe they will. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. A lot of people like these little things, like these super unique icons and that kind of stuff.
That's true. I feel like maybe Valve designed it so that you don't like this isn't supposed to be the progression system. It's just supposed to be a nice bonus. It's supposed to incentivize people to at least play those first 16 levels. And honestly, if they've already gotten to the point where they've grinded out the games to get to count level 16, I think they're going to keep playing the game. So I think it's fine.
Yeah. They just need to remind people that this isn't, the main way to progress. This is just a nice little bonus.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Because up to level 16, the rewards are actually quite abundant. So.
Yeah, they just don't tell you how long it takes to get to 16. Like
Yeah.
maybe it take you 3 months to get to 16.
I mean, I think that's fine. They don't need to tell you how long it's going to take.
Well, so episode 1, we talked about what we wanted to see as a progression system. And this patch was kind of like that. We got individual ranking and we got account leveling.
Mm-hmm.
Is this all you wanted and all you dreamed and wished for? Or is...
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, this is along the lines of what I said on the last episode, right? It's something that it's like something they just put out and it's there. It's the beginning of something that could be amazing, right? I'm not going to say like this is the perfect system, but I am really happy that they just put something out. And then now that it's out there, it can be refined, it can be tuned, It could be added upon, all these kind of things. So the fact that it exists now is what's really important. And then from how it develops, or from here on out, how it develops is, what I look forward to.
Yeah, I've seen one point of contention that people have had is the fact that your rating for constructed and draft goes across both the casual and the prize play. I personally think that's okay because the only difference between those two is whether or not you're paying to get prizes from it. Like the formats are the exact same. There's no differences whatsoever. So the fact that they cross each other is okay.
I agree for you for the most part, but I think some people that are playing casual draft would say that there are people that only play a draft when it's really good, and then they'll just abandon, and they keep abandoning until they get a super good deck.
But the abandons still count against you, don't they? Because it still counts the losses.
No, so if you could draft a deck in casual and abandon it, and you could draft again in 30 minutes.
But doesn't abandoning it give you the 2 losses and then negatively affect your MR?
I don't know if that's the case.
If it doesn't, it should, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a quick fix to it.
Yes. It should take, like the MMR, I think, should be calculated based on the actual number of wins and losses. So obviously, if you have, a perfect run of 5 wins, 1 loss, you're going to pretty much net positive.
Yeah.
But if you just keep abandoning, you just keep getting 2 losses again and again and again, it's just going to tank you.
I mean, I definitely agree with the idea of that they don't lock the ranking up system behind like prize play, right? That's what they're calling it now. Because that's just like this patch has given so much goodwill to the community that Valve is not like trying to take your money.
Yeah.
If they lock progression behind the only way you could progress is actually do prize play, that essentially just would destroy the whole community.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they did it for casual play as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Overall, I think it's okay. If people are having an issue with people in casual modes just redrafting and abandoning, then if there's not a punishment for that, there should be. Otherwise, if there already is one in place, then I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Yeah, this is something that's like a potentially big enough of an issue that they should have a fix in place for it already.
Yeah. So My favorite big thing about this leveling / ranking system is that for leveling up, you get more experience after the game when you did something cool.
Yeah, the achievements.
Yeah, the achievements. So, for example, one of the achievement you could get is called Creep Slayer. If you kill 25 or more creeps, you get 4 bonus experience. I kind of wish that you got a little bit more experience just for the sake of comparison. I want to say when you win, you get around 20 experience or 25 experience. I don't know if this is an exact number, and it seems like from me noticing it, it changes a couple. Maybe it depends on the rank that my opponent was or my rank. I don't know exactly how they figure it out. If you get a win streak, if you get a back-to-back win, you get 10 more experience. And then all of these other cool achievements only give you a fraction of that. So another one is like Demoralizer. Get an enemy hero to negative attack. You get 8 experience for that. That's a pretty hard one to achieve. So they give you a lot more. But I kind of feel like it should be even more than that.
I think it's okay because it's really just a bonus stacked on top of your winning. I have seen on Reddit and a few Discords where people are saying that the experience screens aren't that detailed because it's missing some of the basic numbers. Like, it won't show you how much experience you actually got for the win, but it'll show you all the other bonuses that you got, and it doesn't total all your experience for you to see. But it still has the actual placements where those numbers should be going. They're just gone.
Okay, hear me out though. Maybe this will make me sound very ungrateful. So you get 5 experience for out of stock. Bought every item in your item deck. That's kind of hard to do. You get a hard fought victory. You win after losing your heroes 10 plus times. That's like a blue deck experience. So that you get 7 experience for that. And this is all nice and dandy. But if you play 3 games a week and win those 3 games, you get 1,000 experience. To me, there's like such a huge disparity in these two numbers, right? Like,
yeah, I agree with
the
that.
1,000 is nice. And of course, they want you to win 3 games. That's how Valve gets you to come back and play every week. I get that. But comparing 1,000 to 5, I'm just like, how many times do I have to buy out my item decks to actually, even have a comparable number?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to criticize it only because I don't have all the numbers yet because they haven't really been released. So I do definitely agree that that's quite a big disparity between numbers. But if they increased or buffed the experience that you got, would it be a detriment and cause people to rank up their account levels too quickly and end up getting all those free packs that Valve wants you to actually work a little harder for?
I mean, here's an easy fix. Okay. You make these achievements like weekly, and you just up the EXP, and then you just make it like a one-time thing. Because
I like that.
A lot of these challenges are like not easy to do, right? Like earn 100 gold, you have to draw the right cards for it, right? And
that's not that hard. It's actually not that hard.
Okay, sure. If you have the right deck, okay, I mean, it's not that bad.
If you play any like black gold mine deck, you do it. But I do like the idea of like once you earn student reptile, that's the earn 100 plus gold. I don't know. You get 25 experience, and then that's it for the week.
Yeah,
or maybe 100 experience.
Because if you're getting 1,000 for 3 wins a week, like, and you can just put out like, 7 to 10 weekly challenges for these type of things, and you just pick the ones you actually want to do, and then just complete them for like 50 to 100 EXP to match the weekly bonus. Even better, if they don't want you to level up that fast, they should just cut the weekly bonus EXP and then up all the achievements things.
Well, they want the bonus EXP so people come play. But I like your idea a lot because I would actually try to build a deck just to try to get this one bonus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's
fun.
Cool.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It makes you want to actually do it.
Yeah.
Because right now 5 EXP, you don't really care, right? It's one of those. If it happens, it happens.
Exactly.
If it doesn't, whatever. Which is what you don't want to happen or have.
I'm excited about the next part.
Yeah. You want to talk about the balance changes?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So patch 1.2, amongst all the changes that we just talked about, also change a couple of cards. So before we get into the card changes, I just want to say that Valve wrote like a 6-paragraph long statement. Talking about that, previously they thought the card market was sacred and they should never touch it. But now they're kind of changing their philosophy to okay, if people are not having fun with certain cards, we're going to just change them.
I'm happy they changed their stance. I was very much on the train of treat it like a TCG and don't change anything. But when I read their paragraphs, I thought the points that they brought up were really valid. The one in particular that stuck with me was the fact that by allowing them to change cards post-release, it lessens the burden of design. So that way they can kind of, go a bit crazier with things that they want to try out and test and, make interesting without worrying that they can't change it afterwards and make it too broken.
I just want to preface this gameplay discussion by saying that I've not had so much fun playing Constructed Artifact for the past 6 months, because Constructed Artifact has been stale for me, right? Like, it's just the same card pool for 6 to 8 months now, and just these 5 to 6 card changes has made the game so fresh. I don't even get sick of seeing red decks anymore. I used to get sick of seeing them because it's only Axe and LC. Yeah. I saw red decks that don't have one or the other, and I was like, what's happening? Like, this, it's a fresh new meta. When I see Dro on the other side, I used to be like, oh my god, I'm gonna get gusted. And now I'm just be like, well, sometimes they will get my heroes, sometimes they don't. It's such a nice feeling, and I think it's not just me. It seems like a lot of people are having very positive feeling about Artifact.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, like, to see them actually change the cards is super important. I think like this is definitely a step in the right direction. You shouldn't. I mean, they always kept talking about making it traditional, but at the end of the day, you're still, it's still like online gaming. You should just patch it.
Yeah,
like, people are gonna be way more happy if you patch it.
One of the biggest strengths of an online card game is the fact that you can change things. There's no printing that you have to worry about, so to speak.
Well, my very cynical view of the whole situation was, yes, the market is sacred, but if only 100 people are using your market because the game is not very popular, then there's really no point, right? So,
yeah, that's true too.
That's 100% valid, so...
I'm a cynical guy, but... All right, let's actually talk about the actual changes. So, going by alphabetical order... Axe got nerfed. Base stat changed from 7 to 11 to 6, 2, and 10. I mean, it's a number change, but it makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
It's definitely still strong, but you know how like in some of those constructed tournaments, people were putting on leather armors and stuff like that?
Yes. It
was literally to counter his 7 base. And now that he's 6, 2, 10, they can actually take leather armor out of their item pool if they really wanted to, because a lot of different heroes that are base 7 life no longer need that padding to survive Berserker Call.
Yep.
So I think that's a pretty significant change.
The most common hero that are played and constructed that has 7 health is Bounty Hunter in black, Dro Ranger in green. The 2 blue hero are Ogre Magi and Zeus. And I don't think any red heroes at 7, so never mind about red. But those particular heroes just got stealth buffed, essentially.
Yeah, because if they ever run into red, like, that's already a huge, a huge positive to surviving against that.
I still think that Axe is amazing for constructed and draft as well, but there was one draft that I did not start Axe. I had an Axe and I did not start Axe. So this is the world that we live in now. And I just had other heroes that hit harder for round 1. So I think Axe is still amazing. But he actually needs help now. Like Berserker Call, if you don't have a Bristleback in your deck, or you don't have a Legion Commander that, could call for 8, calling for 6 kind of feels really bad.
Yeah, I agree. You have to either equip him with something, or you need some other red hero to supplement it. So yeah, I agree with that. But once again, I mean, this just goes back to how constructed is going to be, a lot more fresh. You're not going to see the same Axe LC, right? Because, I mean, Axe with a base 6, it doesn't sound like a huge change, but losing that 1 damage significantly lowers the value of Berserker Call and Duel used by Axe.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we're still seeing a lot of Axe LC. I just feel less bad about it because Axe LC is not as good. So
yeah,
I'm okay with it. Okay, second card. This is actually a lot more interesting because we featured this hero in our episode 1 podcast, the 4 worst hero in Artifact.
It's my boy.
It's Bloodseeker. So his stat got buffed from 7-6 to 7-7, so he got an extra health. And also Blood Rage, his signature card, got a mana buff, so it went from 5 mana to 4 mana. And if you don't know what Blood Rage does, it silences the target and gives that target +4 attack. Thoughts?
He's the axe counter now. He doesn't die in one hit to axe, and he trades with them. Easy.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I'm really happy because I think this helps him trade a lot better with heroes in general, just by having the bonus to health.
I mean, it's crazy when you think about it, but this one extra health, like, you know, you go back to Axe not being able to kill certain heroes at the 7 health range, right? Now, Bloodseeker leaving the 6 health range, he also survives against a lot of different heroes that would normally, you know, kill him in one hit. So a good example is like if you run into Keith in draft, right? Keith is 6'1", 6'1", and Bloodseeker survives now, you know, that kind of thing. So it's actually a pretty significant change. Blood Rage, I still think the card is, you know, not the greatest, but by putting it at 4 mana, you know, it actually has some pretty significant usage on turn 2. Like if you're against a strong red hero that you can't normally kill with 7 damage, you can now kill them on turn 2 with a Blood Rage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that because of Bloodseeker's passive, him getting 1 extra health point
means a lot.
Means a lot more than just getting 1 extra health point. Like, for example, if Bounty Hunter got an extra health point, it would just be like 1 extra health point. But Bloodseeker getting 1 extra health means a lot more because he could heal after combat if he survives.
After combat, yeah.
Yes.
So
as long as he kills.
Yes, as long as he survives the combat. I was actually thinking through a lot of scenarios where the extra health does matter. So, for example, if Bloodseeker was facing a melee creep and then he gets hip fired, 4 damage spells are pick off. You know, those kind of spells are very common in draft. Yeah. He survives that now, whereas before he just trades with a creep. So that matters hugely. Today I was playing in a draft game and I had Skywrath Mage. Misk Flare would have used to clean kill Bloodseeker. Now I just have to like concussive shot and hope I don't get Blood Rage. So it's a buff. It's a very strong buff for Bloodseeker.
It's actually a very significant buff. Yeah.
Yeah.
These one value changes actually change a lot for. I want to say almost every single hero would see like a significant nerf or buff if they had 1 extra damage or 1 extra life or vice versa, like -1 life, -1 damage. So yeah, there's a lot of scenarios that like you might not actually see right away, but once you play, you're just like, oh my god, 1 life. This is actually big. You know,
it's just like our guy Farvin.
Yeah.
Poor Farvin.
Every Sunday, BTS is hosting a community tournament, and we did constructed tournament because we always do draft, but because of the new patch, we wanted to do constructed to see how everyone will receive the new patch.
Yeah.
Pandago brought a Bloodseeker in his deck.
Oh.
I don't exactly know how he did. I never faced against him, so I don't know how well the Bloodseeker did for him. But well, somebody brought Bloodseeker to constructed. I don't know if I agree with that, but you know, people are trying him out.
Yeah. Was it a mono black deck?
I think it was black red with Bloodseeker. So that was really interesting.
I definitely like the idea that people are trying new stuff, but I mean, as much as I like this change for Bloodseeker, I'm gonna go ahead and say that he's still not, you know, at the top of black heroes, right? Like if I was gonna play a black deck with something else, I would probably not pick him. Even if I was playing mono, I probably still wouldn't pick him.
I agree to that as well.
But however, with this change, I think that Bloodseeker actually rises up like significantly in draft.
Yep, absolutely agree.
In the past, he was, you know, kind of whatever, but now he's actually a pretty solid black hero, simply because of this change. You just need to be able to farm enough gold to put like a cloak on him, and this guy is like invincible almost.
Yeah. Okay, next change is Cheating Death. So Cheating Death, one of the most hated card, which I have to say I actually don't mind it personally that much. But anyways, it was nerfed. So they changed the mana cost from 5 to 4, so that's actually a buff. But now instead of giving everything a 50% chance to survive, now as an improvement that you have to activate, think of Steam Cannon, Keyful Turret, that kind of stuff. And it says, if you activate it, give a unit a death shield this round, may only be used if there's an ally green hero in the lane. So they still keep the whole green hero in the lane thing, But you have to give up your initiative, or you have to grab initiative in the previous lane to use it on the guy that you want to save, and you can only save one guy if you have one cheating death.
Yeah. I still think this is a pretty good card. Is it as strong as before? No.
Is it a good card? I wouldn't play it.
I don't think it deserves the place that it did in decks. But actually having a castable Death Shield is really good because it can save you from a lot of condemn effects on heroes that you want to keep in your lane.
I mean, the old cheating death also save you from a lot of condemn effects.
Yeah, but this is a guaranteed one, like for sure, and you can continue to guarantee proc it.
The problem, I mean, I personally probably wouldn't ever play this card and construct it. I think there's just way too much. There's a lot you have to sacrifice to play this card. So I mean,
I mean, you just don't run three of them. I think
I haven't tested it, but I'm just by looking at it, I don't really like the card.
I built the constructed deck for today's tournament just to test things out, right? I put Cheating Death in the deck, and I have to say, offensively, Cheating Death is insane. So think of the flop situation where they have a Phantom Assassin, and I had an Omni Knight. This exact scenario happened today. At the first turn, I hit the PA for 5. She hits me for 10. And next turn, you're supposed to trade, right?
Yeah.
But next turn 2, I slap down Cheating Death, and my guy survives. And that just allows me to snowball super hard against that. However, whenever I played against blue decks, I'm just thinking to myself, where's my old Cheating Death? Because I would never actually have even be an inkling afraid of Annihilation. But now I'm like, oh god, I need to grab initiative. I just like, I think the new Cheating Death has a lot more nuance when it comes to playing it, and it's selectively very good, and also selectively very bad. I just think that is a a lot worse card overall, but it has spots where it's actually better than the old Cheating Death. I think in draft, Cheating Death actually is better than the old Cheating Death, because in draft there's a lot more combat involved, and the game also ends up to be a lot longer. And Cheating Death, just like, for example, there's a game that just kept my creep alive for like 8 turns, and it was just sitting in front of a Sven or some big red hero, and they're like, okay, I can't actually deal with this one creep with a Death Shield on it.
Yeah, I actually think this card's great in red-green aggro decks. Not so much in the blue-green decks anymore, though.
Yeah,
but do agree that it is definitely a lot stronger in draft now than constructed.
Okay, up next we got Drow Ranger. So the hero didn't actually get any change itself, but they changed Gust. So Gust used to say silence all the heroes this round. Now it says silence the enemy hero and its ally neighbor this round. I hear people describing it as a cone spell, but a cone spell implies that it has to be in front of Drow Ranger, kind of like how it is in Dota. Now you just click any hero on their side of the map, and you just silence that hero and their friends.
Yeah, it's a really good change. Drow is still really powerful, in my opinion. She's still very powerful. She's just not. It's just not as like tilting to play against now. I guess. Yeah, because like in the old Gus is, you know it's coming, and once it comes, you're just like, okay, go ahead, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But now it's not quite the same, right? Now when you get gusted, not everyone's going to be gusted, and we haven't discussed it yet, but the next item also comes into play when we're discussing these silences and stun effects and whatnot.
Yeah. The counterplay to the new Gust is actually just deploying a whole bunch of heroes into the lane, and they can only Gust a certain amount, right? Especially if their board is really wide, and Drow decks generally have a pretty wide board, so your heroes don't end up clumping next to each other. Yeah. So silence don't actually get that many targets. Yeah. She's still very good.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part, and this is my favorite change of the patch, is Jasper Dagger.
So Jasper Dagger used to be a 7 gold plus 2 attack and pierce item. Now it's a 5 gold plus 2 attack, pierce, and when you equip, it purges your hero from enemy effects. So if they gust you, you could Jasper Dagger.
This is a super cool item. I really, really like this item. It's for 3 extra gold, it's basically a short sword that gives you pierce and a purge.
That's worth.
Yeah, that is worth.
Yeah.
Especially with like how many different effects that people can potentially put on your hero. Like, you ever been 4-man routed? Don't have to worry about it that much anymore. You know,
ever
just
been
Jasper.
double routed?
Yeah, you ever double routed? You can remove all of that with one simple purchase.
Yeah, I'm actually happy that they put Purge on a accessible item instead of leaving it to single colors, because I think green was the only one that had any abilities to Purge, correct? Like,
Yeah, you can Aphotic Shield and you can Cleansing Right. That's it.
yeah. So I think that Purge is something that should have been accessible to all colors to begin with, just because there's so many across the board.
I feel like this card is undercosted for what it does.
Yeah,
I don't know why they nerfed the gold.
No, I can kind of see why as well. Like, okay, so the idea is you're basically paying three extra gold, right, versus the short sword to gain Pierce and to Purge.
2 extra. It's 3
Oh,
gold.
sorry, 2 extra. Yeah. So you're paying 2 extra gold to gain Pierce and to purge yourself. So
That's super
I
good.
mean, for the most part, right, you're mostly paying 2 extra gold for the purge. The Pierce is super nice, but you don't situationally it doesn't occur as much as.
Are you sure?
Actually, you know what? I don't actually know.
That occurs like every game, dude.
This is actually insane. Jasper Dag is actually insane. For 2 gold, this is such a value pickup.
I actually think that Jasper Daggers is kind of a subtle nerf to red cards, because red heroes are generally the ones that you see that will have the armor like innately.
No, straight up Rex Enchantress.
Yeah. Well, okay, green too, but you also run into a lot of red cards that will have negative effects just by virtue of combat. Or by like signature spells like Bristle minus armor, Ursa minus armor.
Dude, Bristleback. If I had better at Photoshop skill, I would be like, who wins? 1 Jasper Dagger or 1,000 Bristleback? it ignores Ballroom Brawler, or whatever that passive is called, and also purges the nasal goo. All in one item, dude. That's freaking sick.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I really, really like this item now. It was basically a 1 out of 10 card in the past, and I don't know, what would you rate this? I personally think it's like 8 out of 10, maybe even 9 out of 10.
I don't know. I feel like this is the definition of a situational item, right? Because most of the time it's just a short sword.
Correct.
And what would you rate a short sword?
10 out of 10.
All right.
Dude, would you not rate short sword 10 out of 10? This is a sick item. Situationally, it's
yeah, but this is a short sword that costs 2 more, so
with benefits. Which is why I put it at like 7 or 8 out of 10.
I think it's one of those items that I'm never too afraid to put 1 copy in my deck. You know, because it just gets value somewhere in the game.
Yeah, I mean that's basically the nice thing about Jasper Daggers. It's if you add 1 to your deck, more often than not, you'll get some value out of the Pierce and Purge. And if you don't, you just pay 2 extra gold for a short sword, whatever.
Yeah. That's why I do think that it's slightly undercosted. I feel like it should be... Like, right now, the decision is not very interesting. You just put 1 in, or 2 in, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like there's not much of an opportunity cost.
Yeah, I mean, you have, for example, like Keenfolk Musket, that's a 7 cost card, also +2 attack with, an active that does another 2 damage. I think, bringing it back up to 7 gold would be fine.
I agree. I think this should cost 7, but
maybe they just wanted people to use it more. See how it does.
Next card that got changed is Lion. Lion Finger of Death still does the same thing. It's a 4 cooldown, deal 8 damage, deal 8 piercing rather, but now it has Quicken. So Quicken means whenever you use the ability, it's reduced by 1 and never below 1. So first time you use Finger of Death, it takes 4 turns of charging up. The next Finger of Death only takes 3 turns of charging up, and then 2, and then 1.
Yeah, I think the Quicken is a more interesting addition in general, because it means that we're probably going to see it in more cards in the future. I think this definitely helps him, but I'm not a huge Lion fan anyway, because I still feel like Mana Drain doesn't... I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Mana Drain. I know we talked about it last time, I remember we talked about it last time, and you were saying how you were playing Lion in a deck, and you like saw the light with him, but I'm still not a fan.
I mean, I didn't really see the light in him. I just saw the potential. And this change is nice and all, but I mean, I don't think it really changes much. I think like you're still going to see one finger, and that's it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I built the constructed deck. I built a black-green constructed deck for the BTS tournament. I made it to top 8, by the way, which was pretty cool, with a black-green. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make a Lion deck that beats blue. And kind of the idea is like, I'm going to mana drain with initiative and like take them turn off from, I don't know, Thunder God's Wrath
Like 6
or
and 7.
Yeah, 6 and 7, right? Just so drain them on 7. Quicken has never for once came into effect. I play this deck, I don't know, 20 games now. It has never once Quicken did anything. Mana drain, however, did something. So I'm with Sheila here. I'm actually more glad that the Quicken keyword now exists. So we might see other cards with this. But for Girl Lion, unless you have that one crazy draft aim that goes like 15 turns, I don't see Lion actually doing much.
Yeah, this is very much a one finger game, and that's it.
Yeah,
maybe
two.
I don't think
maybe
it's like it's so hard to get to, and even if you get 2 off, I mean, if you're playing Lion, I mean, you're in kind of a bad spot if you're reaching your second finger. I think.
Or maybe good, depending.
Or maybe good. Yeah,
I don't think it's necessarily a bad
maybe
thing.
You're just turtling for trebuchets. You know?
It's bad in the sense that mana drain, when you get into your second finger, mana drain doesn't do anything anymore, right?
Yeah.
So, like, his ability doesn't work well with this card, which is generally not a good sign for any card.
You just gotta put him in a Tyler state.
All right,
deck.
this is how you fix Lion. You change his signature card.
Okay.
To impale. Deal 2 damage and stun everyone across from him.
All right, that's seems great.
3 mana.
That would be so good. That's
Hey, it follows his character, or you just give him Hex.
Turn somebody into a chicken card for one.
Target any unit and turn it into a 1/1 chicken for 1 round. 2 mana cost.
All right, but they don't turn into a 1/1 chicken in Dota. They're not gonna die if you sneeze on them.
Okay, fine. Then you turn them into a. All right, fine. You turn them into. You reduce their attack to 0.
Okay.
Okay. You reduce their attack to 0. They can retain their health, and
their silence
lasts for 1 turn. Oh, and their silence
and disarm.
Yeah.
And no, they're not disarmed actually.
They're just 0 attack.
All right, fine. If you want to follow Dota, all right, disarm them too.
All right.
Anyways, we got Outworld Devourer as our next card change. Change the stat from 4/6 to 4/7. Is this also one of the 4 worst hero in the game?
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, he can stay down there as well. I don't think this changes too
No,
much.
dude, like now he survives Axe turn 1. Dude, the +1 health.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this changes OD too much.
So also still one of the few blue heroes that can actually, kill creeps.
Yeah, sure.
Pretty great.
I wish they changed it to a 5/6 instead of 4/7.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Just watch him kill stuff.
Yeah, I wish that was the case too, because it would make OD like, his actual hero in Dota, right?
Right.
Like you farm up and you're kind of a hero killer, right? You're supposed to do a ton of damage, not 4/6 or 4/7.
Going back to the Bloodseeker point earlier, it's just 1 extra stats, but I feel like this 1 extra stat is very inconsequential compared to the Bloodseeker one, because
yeah, I agree.
It just
like,
does very different.
It does help you survive against certain things on certain turns, but at the end of the day, doesn't really change OD too much.
I agree,
if at all, even so. Yeah.
He can, survive. Was it at any cost now?
Oh, that's true. That's actually big.
That is kind of nice.
That's kind of big. Nice. Yeah, you do play that.
Yeah.
Okay, good point. Great point. I've been thinking about that.
Thank you.
Okay, last hero is going to be Timbersaw. And reactive armor used to give Timbersaw, not Bloodseeker, +1 armor for every unit attacking him. So generally it's 1, sometimes it's 2, because people are angling in. Now, in addition to that, reactive armor gives a -1 armor to those people as well.
Oh man, I hated Timbersaw, but I love him now.
Dude, he is so good now. I think he's a tier 1 red hero now in draft.
Yeah,
legit, no joke.
Tier
1 red hero, because his now passive synergizes with Whirling Blade. And let me tell you, Whirling Blade dealing 3 damage instead of 2, big fucking deal.
Yeah, it is a pretty big deal. Well, I mean, if he does 4 damage, right? So with this new passive, if he's trading with someone, he's doing 5 now, and Whirling Blade does 3. So
Yep.
turn 1, you can do 8 damage to a hero, and I mean that's just straight up going to kill almost every single hero that's not red.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it does kill every single hero that's not red. No, just kidding. There's some green heroes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty insane. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I really like this change in him, and I think somebody here crafted a interesting minus armor deck with the new Timbersaw, right?
Yeah, I did. It was
Yeah.
a red blue minus armor deck. With
It's got to be
Razorback.
red blue.
Yeah,
because you got to be playing that ventriloquy.
I actually
Triple ventriloquy, triple compel. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually took ventriloquy out of the deck because I just needed more powerful cards. But it's red blue. You're spreading minus armor around, and you're zapping them with like Path of the Wise, Zeus.
How did
Skyrab
that deck
Mage.
do?
It went 8-1 on stream. So
Okay,
I can't tell if
That's
I'm good or the deck's good or both.
Did you face any of the standard decks, like the combo decks or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I faced everything. I
Oh,
faced
nice.
red green ramp, blue black aggro, the blue black gold generation. Like it did okay against everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I call it the minus armor deck, but really at the end of the day, it was a conflagration ignite deck, if you want to think of it that way. And those decks are just good generally.
Just good generally. Yeah, they're very powerful cards.
Yeah.
Not to mention you're running a lot of powerful heroes too, right? You're running Timber and Bristle, right?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. And then I don't know what blue you were running. I assume you're running Zeus, I guess.
Zeus, Ogre,
and Skywrath.
Yeah.
Ogre, okay. Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Putting that Ristal emblem to work.
How did the Path of the Wise work out?
Path of the Wise, honestly, not the best card in the deck. You know, I started at the 3, thinking about going it down to 2. It's cool when it works out, but it rarely does.
It rarely does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. I really wanted it to work though.
All right, that's going to be our discussion for patch 1.2. I think overall, this is the best patch for Artifact so far out of the 2 patches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, it had gameplay changes, so I mean that's a huge deal.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
rekindled my love for Artifact. Now I just have fun playing the game. I mean, I had fun playing the game before, but I avoided Constructed like a plague because it was the same 3 deck.
Yeah.
And now I'm just brewing new decks.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I like how it opens up new avenues for constructed play.
It's crazy too because it was just like if you look at it, it's actually not that many changes, but the game just completely transformed with just these few changes. So really excited about that.
Important to note too that it hasn't even been a month since the game's been out, and we've already got nice patches like this.
Yeah, that's true.
So just looking forward to everything that will be coming in the future.
Every week, we're going to talk a little bit about lore and what's happening in the world of Artifact. Sheila, our resident lore expert, what are you telling us today?
Recently, in Dota 2, our lovely mage Rubick got a new Arcana, which was very impressive. Has like 111 plus new spell animations or something crazy like that. So I thought it'd be pretty fitting to talk about Rubick because he does show up a little bit in Artifact. So Rubick has the title of Grand Magus. So like within the world of Artifact and Dota, anyone can be a wizard, but only a select few can be considered a magus. In order to actually get this title, Rubick had to not only defeat one, but all the maguses of the Hidden Council in a big, giant, all-out magic brawl in order to get the status that he did. Rubick is another character that doesn't have a hero card within Artifact, but he is featured on several card arts and lore texts. You can most prominently see him getting booty blasted in Arcane Censure and collateral damage by both Silencer and Anti-Mage, which implies that he is currently being held within the Tyler estate, since that's where both Silencer and Anti-Mage are currently working. It's not known what crime he committed. If it is something that's hidden in the text, I haven't been able to decipher it, but you can kind of just assume that he did something Rubick-like, because he's a very like whimsical, kind of chaotic force, and it's not really surprising to see him get imprisoned. Since the Tyler estate is basically run by the Quorum, which is a policing body of wizardry, as Vanessa states on the actual Tyler estate card. They're a governing body of 31 wizards, and they don't technically have rules for magic, but if you step a bit too far out of line, a la chronomancy, you might get sent to the Tyler estate, where they like to put you through their re-education process.
He probably just stole a book or something. He's probably a nerd like that.
Well, I mean, on the Arcane Assault card, you can see him, you know, like looking through a book and shooting a spell off, so you might be right. Don't know. So Rubick is also known, like it's very common for him to say that he is the son of Aghanim, who is one of, if not the most powerful wizards in existence. But Aghanim is actually currently missing, both within the Artifact worlds and Dota worlds. He's still kind of MIA. If you read the lore for Arcane Assault, you can see Vanessa tends to doubt his claims regarding his father. But while Aghanim is missing, she believes that he's actually secluded himself away at his sanctum, which you can also see on the Aghanim sanctum card. And right now she thinks that he's working on something really big. Nobody knows what, though. So these characters all together kind of create another like storyline thread that is very low on the priority list right now. So I feel like we might see a bit more of the Tyler estate, maybe a little bit of Rubick next expansion. I think we might honestly see Aghanim later, but I don't know if it would be the next expansion or if that's something that's actually going to be built up for an like, you know, a set after the next one. So we'll just have to see.
Isn't Aghanim's a character from the Zelda series? And they borrowed it and named it Aghanim Scepter in Dota 2, right?
I don't
actually know.
I've never heard that before.
I just know that Ice Rock has named a lot of his characters after a lot of things that he, I would assume, grew up with, or is personal to him. For a lot of people who don't know, a couple of examples are like Lena, right? Lena is named the Slayer, and she's also named after, named after an anime character from the anime Slayers.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like an example. Another example is Roshan. That's the name of his bowling ball.
Right.
Yes. So a lot of these names, they just come from a lot of different random things. Who knows?
Various sources.
Okay, so I Google Aghanim Zelda, and the first result was from the Zelda Wikipedia that came up, and it says Aghanim is a dark wizard who serves as a secondary boss of A Link to the Past.
Really? I played that game, but I was like 7 at the time, so I probably didn't.
How long ago did A Link to the Past come out?
It's probably around Ice Rock's time, so 100 years ago.
It was about It was about 18 years ago. I had the game on Game Boy Color when it first came out, and I think I was either 8 or 9 at the time. So it was about 18 years.
I've only played the console Zelda games. I've never gotten to play the handheld.
Oh wait, A Link to the Past. No, that's even older. Sorry, I'm thinking of Link's Awakening.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one I played on Game Boy Color. All right, so never mind. I don't actually know.
Yeah, pretty sure that's how Aghanim came from in Dota, and now they're changing it. So I'm actually curious what they would do. I don't think there's any copyright issues or anything, but
probably not. Otherwise, it would have already been brought up with Aghanim Scepter being in Dota.
I mean, the thing is, it's just a name.
Actually, that makes me wonder, because Aghanim Scepter is supposed to be like the epitome of Aghanim's skill, right? If he's currently working on something in Aghanim's Sanctum, maybe he's actually making the scepter right now.
Pretty sure third set comes out, Aghanim Sanctum now gives everybody a boost on their card. Right? That would be sick.
Dude, like set 2, set 3, Aghanim Scepter cards, like a permanent, changes everybody's signatures to have an additional effect.
Ooh. That would be amazing.
That would be hype as fuck.
Oh,
that would be so hype.
Is it a 25 gold item?
Probably. I mean,
on the sword slot, right? Like, whew.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. All right, but yeah, that's my little bit for the lore. Just wanted to talk about Rubick since he had the spotlight on him earlier this week.
He shows up a lot. He's gonna be in the next expansion.
Probably. I feel like we're gonna see a lot more non-Dota heroes though, because there's just so much there's so much that they're hinting at. There's so many characters that are just randomly brought up. You have Vanessa, you've got Pierpont, you've got this random dude called Nog who's mentioned in all of one lore text, but he's part of the Drew Wolf art series, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna show up at some point. Like, I don't know.
What about my girl, Lady Anshu?
Oh yeah, Lady Anshu, you're right. Lady Anshu's part of the Rumesk. Who else?
I don't know why she's my girl. I just said that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, she's probably kind of not a good person. Yeah, that's usually how the religious organizations and games are.
Can't wait for Wisp.
Yo, Wisp, you gotta send your hero design. That's why they're not doing it, because you haven't sent it in.
Oh yeah, might be.
Yeah.
Email that shit to Ice Frog or Bruno or whoever.
Yeah. I'll make 2 versions of it too. I'll make the aggro version and then the support version.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so that's gonna do it for this episode of Artichoke. But before we end the podcast, every week we rank a silly thing, and today we're ranking the top 3 candies, our favorite candies. It's a holiday season. I'm eating a lot of candy. I got a box of Godiva in front of me right now that is waiting to be consumed.
That's some high quality chocolate.
That's really high quality, dude.
Yeah, that speaks to my list.
I wouldn't even list it as top 3 because the price range is just too high. That also
okay.
That contributes to favorite candy.
That's true. Okay, we are Asian here, except Sheila, and price point very important. Very important.
Yeah. Price point is very important.
So who wants to start?
I'll start. So I made my first, my number one kind of general, because I really couldn't choose a favorite, but I'll start with the bottom. So my third favorite is actually red licorice shoestring. It's
disgusting.
I don't know. There's just something about it. Every time I see it, I'm like, yo, I need to get this candy. It's so good. I love it.
I like licorice, but the shoestring is so minor. It's like
super chewy.
It's like I'm eating nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
So why eat it? All right. Anyways, what's next?
It's fun.
Wait. Did you ever drink Coca-Cola with the big licorice? Is that the play?
No, I've never done the licorice straw thing. I remember a couple of friends of mine were trying to do it, but even though they cut the licorice, it wasn't a full it wasn't hollow all the way through. So they couldn't get it to work.
I've gotten it to work before, but it doesn't do anything.
It just I don't
think I
would like the combination.
You don't notice.
Anyway.
No, you don't even notice. The flavor doesn't come through. It doesn't really matter.
No, it just weirds me out.
It doesn't come through.
Already, if I'm drinking a soda, I'm already ingesting enough sugar. All right, but my number 2 is definitely going to be Twix. So I was going to originally put Milky Ways, but then I remembered that Twix exists, and I'm like, you know what? Twix are just superior to Milky Ways in every way, They got everything I like. They've got caramel. They've got a little bit of chocolate. They've got a nice, crunchy wafer thing.
Wait, so I have a question for you. If Milky Ways was about to be number 2, but Twix pushed it out, why isn't Milky Way number 3?
Because I like red licorice more than Milky Way.
This list is busted.
Don't question my methods. Also, because they're pretty similar. The only difference is, nougat versus wafer, right?
Well, that's you just said they're pretty similar. That's
a big difference, dude.
That's a pretty big difference.
No, because Milky Way is if I eat a full Milky Way bar, I don't feel very good afterward. It's just way too sweet. The nougat on top of it.
Yeah. No. So yeah, very different. I know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, my number 1 is actually the general one. So it's basically chocolate covered fruit, any kind. It can be Brookside chocolates, which are chocolate with blueberry, acai, or it can be chocolate oranges, chocolate covered strawberries. You give me fruit and put chocolate on it. I'm
gonna make some chocolate covered durian for Sheila sometime.
Yeah, all right.
Because she said fruit of any kind. I'm gonna get some durian, some smelly ass chocolate right there.
No, and I'll try it.
All right.
I've never actually smelled a durian, so I don't know what I'd be getting into, but I've heard it's pretty nasty.
Wait, you lived in an Asian household for how long now? You not smell durian?
Yeah, there hasn't been any durian in this household.
None of my family has eaten it recently. I guess it's pretty hard to acquire.
No, you just go into a market and get durian.
Yeah, but they haven't done it in a while. I don't know. I'm glad.
Next week, top 3 durian.
It's just durian, isn't it?
It's just
different
durian.
types.
There's not different types.
Yeah, exactly. It's just durian.
All right, I'll go next. So
right.
my number 3 is Snickers, and I have to say, not the NA Snickers because that's like overly sweet.
Mm.
So around 2014 or 2015, I lived in Sweden for about on and off 2 years working at the Too Good House, and they don't use like fructose syrup or whatever Americans use. That is like, it just tastes fake. But the Snicker bars in Europe actually are made with real sugar.
There's a big difference.
There's a big difference. It tastes actually really, really good. I'm not a big fan of like candy bars in general or chocolate candy bars, but when I was in Sweden, I probably ate one like every 2-3 days, which is really high for me. So
I see.
EU version specifically. This is the one thing I'll be like EU greater than NA. Okay. Number 2, I love chewy candy, like gummy type of candy.
Okay.
And my favorite of the bunch is Sour Patch Watermelon. I just like the little sugar frosting, the coating on it. I also like the ones where it shapes like a Coke bottle and it tastes like Coke with like the white sugar candy on top.
Oh, I know
the white sugar on top.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of Sour Patch, we went to the mall yesterday, and my friend who's visiting, right, his boss really loves Sour Patch, right? So he came from Hong Kong, and you can't really get that there. They don't have that there. And my friend said it's really important to impress his boss, right? Because his boss is, this is the boss, right? So we came across Sweet Factory, and we found a gift box of Sour Patch Kids.
Box?
A 2-pound box of Sour Patch Kids that he's going to gift his boss.
Yeah, it's like 2 feet long, like half a foot long, like
it's
2
a
feet
big
by half foot or something.
It's just a big box with 12 boxes of Sour Patch in it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's sugar overdose right there. But that's how you impress your boss. If your boss says he likes something, get him 2 pounds of it,
Actually, honorable mention, I like Nerds quite a bit as well.
You have a really terrible tier list, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Number one, Ferrari Rochers. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, close enough. Sheila, why are you laughing so hard? That's rude.
God.
Sometimes you gotta go classy,
Yeah.
I never buy this because it's outside my budget, but generally, when you go to an Asian household during Chinese New Year's,
yes,
they have this out.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's always a thing.
It's like this impressive candy. I'm just like eating that shit for free. I have a stomachache the next day because I eat like all of them.
Yeah.
It's great.
They're so good. Yeah. I don't know what it is about Asian households, but they always gift this candy to everyone. And everyone is just, and the best part is all the older Asian people, they don't even eat this shit. So it's just like,
so I get to eat it.
Yeah, grandkids take it all.
So that's why all the Asian like patients that come by the pharmacy are always buying those, huh? I didn't even realize.
Do they actually?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Preparing.
You say they're outside your price range, but dude, just come down to your friendly neighborhood Walgreens, get them discounts.
Why are you shilling?
Employee discount.
Yeah, employee discount, no store discount. They're actually not that expensive, in my opinion.
No, that's still out of my price range.
Okay.
Is it more than $5?
No.
It's not more than $5. You're telling me I can get a box of 20 for $5?
I don't know if it's the box of 20,
exactly.
But they have other sizes.
If it's no.
Okay. Is it box of 20 or bust?
Yes, exactly. Why would you only buy it if it's like 3 of them? Like, what's the point? You got to buy at least 20.
I see.
Or more. Okay. Right? Do you agree, David?
Well, I was going to say, maybe you shouldn't eat 20 of them.
What? If you're not going to eat 20, then why eat them at all?
Go big or go home.
What's your list, Steven, dude?
So my list, I kind of like segmented it. Like my tier list is a little different. All right, it's not just about taste, right? It's got to be taste. It's got to be price. It also has to have, believe it or not, utility to it. All right?
Wait, how are you gonna shit talk my list when your list is not even a list, dude?
Well, dude, all right, just listen. All right, listen. All right. So number 3, okay, we have Kinder Bueno. I don't know if you ever had Kinder Buenos, but they're basically the milk chocolate wafers. They're not really common in America, but you can get them.
Like Kinder eggs?
No, they're not Kinder eggs, but it's from the same company.
Okay.
Kinder Buenos.
Let me Google this really quickly. Kinder Bueno. Let's take a look.
Oh,
So they're okay.
I've
So here it
seen these
is.
before.
Yeah, it's a hazelnut cream filled wafer with a chocolate covering. That's what it says.
Yeah, I
I
can't eat that
really,
'cause that'll
really,
kill me.
yeah, I really, really like this chocolate. It's basically like a fancier, better version of Twix. That's how I see it.
Okay.
So the Kinder Bueno, number 3. At number 2, I really like Kit Kats. As you can tell, I really like wafers. So Kit Kat, it's nice and cheap, easy to share, not a big portion. You know, Kit Kat.
You're such
Really
a
simple.
Hong Kong boy. The wafers.
Yeah, dude, wafers are my thing.
What is that,
Alright.
like a Hong Kong thing?
I actually don't
wafers?
know. I have no idea.
Wafer is such a common snack for Asians, for Southern Asians.
All right.
See.
Southern
All right, so
Asians.
now, number 1. All right, so hear me out. They're nice and cheap. They're easy to carry around, and they actually benefit you positively. They're Tic Tacs. All right,
Tic Tacs.
That's
They
not
taste-
a candy. What the?
Are
what
you
kind
telling
of list
me-
is this?
You're telling me Tic Tacs are all right. If Tic Tac isn't a candy, what is it? Tell me.
I
like a
approve.
mint.
It's candy.
It's candy.
Thank you, David.
Yes.
It is a candy. What is a mint? What is a mint? It's a candy.
It's a breath fresh. Oh, it's a mint. I don't know.
Tic Tacs. They're mad cheap.
I would say
I
Kit
mean,
Kat's
I guess,
more
like, kind of
candy
like
than mint.
Yeah, they're definitely more candy because they have sugar in it, right? But they freshen your breath. They're cheap. They're easy to carry around, and you don't have to eat a ton, right? So you don't have to feel bad.
Who enjoys eating a Tic Tac? Who's like, you know what? I really want. I just want this box of Tic Tacs. I'm just gonna down the whole
No,
thing.
but all I'm saying is when I see a Tic Tac, I'm like, damn, I'll take one.
Dude, I'm just calling your whole list into questioning. Tic Tac is your favorite candy of all
It's my-
time?
Dude,
What the fuck is wrong with
All
you?
I'm gonna say is, I have the secret list of Steven's actual tiers, and he put M&M peanuts on the top.
No,
so I'm
we're
pretty sure
cutting-
this is
we're cutting that
actual
out.
list.
we're cutting out M&M peanut M&Ms out.
Okay.
Tic Tacs.
What
where it's
happened
at.
to your number
just
3?
trying to
Number 3 was
control it.
actually good.
Number
Mal-
3? Oh, I took out Maltesers because I remembered
Yeah.
Kinder Buenos existed.
That's fair. I'll let that slide.
It's
But
kind of
Tic
like
Tacs.
how Sheila removed Milky Way. You know, I removed Maltesers because I
Okay,
remember.
I have
Kinder
to say
Bueno.
that your list is a lot worse than Sheila, simply because you have Kit Kat at number 1.
Oh, come on, dude! You like gummies, dude. Your list is also just as bad.
Dude, Ferrari Rochers, dude, number 1.
Ferrari Rocher. You mean Ferrari Rochers?
I don't know how it's called, dude. You think I'm looking how to pronounce it as I'm golfing it down? I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
All right,
All right.
guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. You could always reach out to us at btsartichoke@gmail.com, and of course, you can follow us at our respective Twitters. I am at Luminous Inverse, and my 2 hosts are at Inserfail and at Eosin Trash.
It is
or
Dota.
is it-
No, it's
it's
Eosin
Dota.
Dota.
Okay, not trash.
Nope, still trash. That's my Twitch. You can
Okay,
follow that
Eosin.
too, boys and girls.
All right. Okay, that's it. Hope you guys have a beautiful holiday, and do control the candy. I'm sure us talking about candy lists would make you crave it
Hey.
a little bit.
Tic Tacs.
Oh my god.
Low on calories.
All right, we need to stop this guy. Turn it off. Turn it
All
off.
right. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.